The answer, it turns out, was the genius of how Ray and Harry structured their franchising empire. At the time, the most common way to franchise a brick-and-mortar business was territorial franchising, which means selling the exclusive right to operate in a given territory. By selling huge contracts for whole areas, franchisers would make a lot of money up front before their first store ever opened, and it meant they weren't dependent on their restaurant actually succeeding to make a profit. This sounds good in theory, but in practice, it meant the interests of the franchisor and the franchisee weren't fully aligned. Instead of doing this, Ray decided to build McDonald's one store at a time. If an operator wanted to manage an additional store, they would need to prove that their first McDonald's was successful. This was slower, but it guaranteed superior quality of every store in the long run. Not just that, but traditional franchisers made most of their money by selling supplies to their franchisees. Things like kitchen equipment, cooking supplies, and even things like the restaurant sign. Franchisers made quick profits by overpricing their supplies, and so they became more focused on selling stuff to their franchisees than actually becoming a successful retailer. Ray decided against selling supplies to his franchisees because it turned them into his customers instead of his partners. Since Ray's company only made money from its 1.4% service fee based on how much revenue each store made, it was in his best interest to make his franchisees as rich as he possibly could. It was a simple yet bold strategy, and it meant that McDonald's system incorporated's interests were fully aligned with the interests of its store operators.